Okay, Reggie, before we get into today's segment, is there anything you want to speak on or talk about quickly?
What up, Bomb First family? Hope y'all having a good one. Getting ready for the holidays is on his way back, y'all. Shout out to the Scorpios, you sexual demons. I know, but you freaks. So shout out to y'all. I know it's y'all birthday time of the month, so we want to give y'all respect. And my boy The Realist. My boy The Realist got a song. He wants y'all to go check him out on Spotify. All the places where y'all do the down streaming. It's called Mobbing Through the Rain, I believe. Mobbing Through the Rain. Y'all know The Realist always got something similar to a Tupac song. And so y'all go check him out and support him on and then other than that, John, let's get it going. Support our t-shirts. Don't forget the Bomb First and the t-shirts to help support us over here, so we can make a little dollars, couple of little dollars over here. Appreciate it if y'all go and support that. Other than that, let's get going. It's gonna be a great week, y'all. Great week.
Okay, so the big news in the last couple of days was rapper Lil Durk was arrested for a murder for hire plot or whatever. Did you see this, and do you have any thoughts about it?
I ain't gonna touch on it too much. It's all over social media. My boy at I Love Hip Hop or I Smoke Hip Hop, my boy Bless One, he's been covering it a lot. I know, I'm sure Whack 100 and Clubhouse has been covering it a lot. And so y'all know I really don't like touching on situations that I don't know about. But it did happen in LA around the Beverly Center. Y'all know anything about that money over there? Y'all just don't know how crimes like that don't go unsolved. It had to be some out of towners involved in that for that particular shooting to go down like that at that location. Because niggas from LA know the most you do over there is maybe rob somebody. And that better be somebody black, if I'm keeping it real. Okay, so not gonna touch too much on the whole situation around that, because I know y'all know where to get it. But I'm gonna just remind y'all on a few things. Just gonna remind y'all. You remember I used to get in 60 business and all of that? And I told y'all a while ago how this certain individual, Big U, they got picked up early in the morning. Y'all remember I used to talk about that? Maybe I talked about that with Whack on Clubhouse. I don't know if I didn't talk about it at Bomb First. Because I generally like Big U, so I usually don't talk about him. But I did mention that he got picked up one early morning, and I don't know what happened, and I left it alone. But the main thing I want to talk about, and just remind y'all, I'm just throwing stuff out, because I don't want to get in it, but y'all know Reggie Wright be trying to tell y'all shit. You out-of-towners, y'all just don't catch it. But y'all remember when I had mentioned and talked about Brick Baby, and I didn't learn to like Brick Baby, to be honest. But I was like, damn, I have never, ever seen a dude that got caught with an assault weapon or, a weapon that's saying he going back and forth, in the Fed for a federal case. Because once you out on bail or bond or whatever on the feds, they test you, man. I got tested two to three times randomly, piss test. And I don't have no drugs or nothing like that on my record, no history of it. And I was like, this dude be admitting to taking perks and smoking weed or no jumper and all of that. And I'm like, how's this dude out fighting a case? And y'all say, oh, because it's legal in California. Well, it ain't legal federally. And so when you're on federal pretrial, trust me, y'all, you can't be smoking weed, taking perks, taking no prescription drug or no drug if you don't have a prescription for it. So I'm just gonna remind y'all that we talked about this about a year ago, and y'all just see where these dots end up dropping in a little while. But the main thing I want to educate y'all, because I'm here for education. I'm over 50 years old now. Actually, over 55. So I'm a fucking senior citizen, according to ARRP, right? Or whatever that's called. Still haven't signed up for it yet. But I be trying to educate my little 30-year-old guys, 25-year-old guys, because I hate really seeing y'all happened to going through all of this time in prison. And I'd be like, damn, because I kind of like this crew. I'll be honest, you know me, I'm about an eye for an eye. And so I kind of had respect for what Lil Durk was willing to do, if it's true, allegedly, however, whatever the correct word y'all want to say, for retaliation for one of his homeboys. Y'all know anything about me, y'all know I'm big on retaliation. But, I just gotta remind y'all, man, I keep telling y'all gotta know when y'all homeboys are getting caught with cases as best you can. It's kind of why I like what the exposures be doing. Because they be exposing niggas and trying to tell y'all who catching cases. So when one of your homeboys and your friends got a case, a gun case, a dope case, and all that, and they don't tell you about it, stay away from that nigga, please, y'all. Please. After you did something and you got away with it, and a nigga come and bring up a subject to you, hey, you remember when we did X, Y, and D? Scooby-Dooby-Doo on him, like, please do that, y'all. Do the Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Because you never know what's going on in somebody's life. Nobody wants to do time. All these niggas on social media brag about, I'll never snitch, I'll never. Man, I told y'all, it ain't a story I can't tell on not one nigga that y'all ever hear me talking about from Compton. And that's just Compton niggas. I can't tell y'all one nigga that I can't really tell y'all a story about. But my point is, and my only point is, once you get away with something, y'all, don't let nobody come talking to you about it no more. Like, dog, why are we talking about this? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll call you later. I'll get at you later, homie. Hey, I know I'm a dirty cop, a pig, or whatever. I'm just trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to educate some of y'all. That pillow talking shit with your girl. How many of y'all had a chick last year that would ride or die for you right now? Or back then, a year ago. Right now, you would piss on her and she would piss on you if you're caught on fire. But you got to remember, you done told her something. And you done said something to her. Homeboys, the same way. This is what's going to hurt Durk mainly. It's him talking to a nigga that he thought was solid. Remember when he came home, he had just did 12 years. They gave him $50,000. Blessed him and all of that. And that nigga was wired for sound every time he was around them. Trying to talk to y'all. I'm not talking about Chicago business. I'm trying to educate niggas over here. Using the Lil Durk situation as an example. Y'all remember? Trying to tell y'all don't never want to listen to Reggie Wright and Ball first. What niggas always say. You remember what y'all all thought it was? Y'all would have argued me down a month ago if we would have brought this situation up. Oh, that was a drug deal going bad. That was a drug deal going bad with the Armenians. Sound familiar? Sound familiar, big stretch, huh? It was a drug deal going bad. They was trying to kill his brother. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Y'all right. Told y'all about the song. Me and John posted. Told y'all what Tupac rapped about. I've been telling y'all for the longest. But you're right, it was a drug deal going bad. Okay. Be careful, young guys. Be careful, young men. Once you get away from with some shit, shut the fuck up, please. I don't care if a close nigga that was sitting right there with you. Why are we talking about this? It should be, well, what's going on, dawg? Why you asking me about this again? What's up with this? Do what I heard Suge Knight supposedly did. Me, you, and God. Why are we talking about this? That's too deep for a lot of y'all. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Well, peace bomb first.
Did you see these pictures that surfaced recently of Diddy and the model Kate Moss? One of them is this one where he's got his arm around her and they zoomed in and it looks like he's got like a pill in her hand. And then the next one's like a group photo and she looks like she is completely out of it.
I saw that picture. John, you a fucking conspirator now. That could be a motherfucking tit tat. What? I remember a judge tore me up one time on a stand, and I said I felt on the guy's pockets and patted him down and felt like 5 or 6 rocks in his pockets. And I went in his pockets, pulled them out, and there was 6 items resembling, I forget how we used that to write it, rock cocaine or something like that. I forget how the police reports used to go. The judge looked at me and said, so you felt on the outside of his pockets and there was some rocks. It couldn't have been rocks, real rocks, that made you go in his pockets. Couldn't have been no motherfucking Tic Tacs or some candy. I'm just messing with y'all to say, that could be a Tic Tac. Why we gotta make it that Diddy was giving the lady a drug? And now you said she was fucked up afterwards. Did y'all see when my girl, I love that girl from Love and Basketball, how they had that girl too? When Diddy and them was out there partying with her, then they had her in the front seat car. My girl Soleil Lathan.
That look crazy though.
Yeah, Reggie. Come on, baby. Yeah, we having fun. Eric Morello.
Girl, I bet my love in me. Swear I give a
You know what? Are you getting closer?
Wonder what she was on that night. Yeah, that's what it goes down with Diddy parties. That's how the Diddy was drugging them up. It's obvious, y'all. That and the drinks. That, you know, hey, what did Mark Curry tell us to do? Don't worry about the alcohol. Worry about the orange juice. You remember he told y'all that? That's what they used to spike them with. But man, yeah, come on, y'all. It's so obvious now that the bad boy niggas was just, they had drugs, giving them no drugs. And a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people was in the comment section when I mentioned E pills. What's E pills? What's E pills? Y'all don't know about ecstasies? Y'all forgot about that word already? Y'all on that fentanyl and all of that quick? But anyway, they were big on those back in the day. Dr. Dre say, no telling what you're gonna do, right? When you get on those E pills. And so, you know, I know that was a little time ago. This probably was a little bit more in the pill popping days, the fentanyls or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the party drugs. I'm gonna be honest. All I remember back in the day, in my heyday of being around those type of niggas that do that stuff, was they talked about E-pills. This fentanyl stuff is new to me. Don't know anything about it. I just know, I know a lot of people that have lost their kids behind this drug, and I hope the United States hurry up and get a control over that. Thank God, there's a lot of white kids dying from it. Don't mean it like that, but that's usually when the government get behind it and really start enforcing it is all I mean by that part. And so that would be my holy take on that. But yeah, John, I saw that particular picture. It's going to be so many more covered out with Diddy, but damn. My whole take would be, why was Diddy so lax and comfortable at a party like that with something like that in his hand? I know technology days and all that, blowing up stuff, we got it. We live in that, you know, in that era where people wasn't thinking that a little pill like that would have been, would have been caught. But when you kind of feeling good and you in a club and you partying, y'all know people were passing around pills and alcohol and a joint like it wasn't shit. The only thing that I ever known it was taboo to do, where people didn't want to see, because I even know of parties where niggas was snorting off trays and stuff like that. Y'all remember what Whitney said? Barbara Walters was right on about Whitney being on cocaine. She just didn't want to be considered on crack. She was like, crack is whack. Because that was the drug that would have your fingertips and all of that shit burnt, have you smoking, have people walking around 3, 4 in the morning trying to chase that high. That rock cocaine was a motherfucker. A lot of you motherfuckers don't even know that's why you addicted to marijuana like you are. Because unfortunately, for you babies that's like 35, a good percentage of y'all mama was on that crack cocaine. And it fucked up a lot of families. But my only take, and I know I really went away from John's question, was, and I just wanted to mess with him because I was like, we quick to want to put that drugs on the hand and put, the main thing is, damn, were they that carefree? Damn.
No, I guess I was just curious, really, at the time. He was so, I guess it was just publicly accepted, that he would have wild parties. I don't think people knew to the extent of what was going on. But some of them happened, obviously, in the early, like in the year 2000 and the early 2000s. Did you ever hear about them before, obviously, like a couple of years ago, where everybody knew that he threw white parties? Like back in the music industry days of yours, did you ever hear about him having parties or no?
Well, we used to hear about him having parties. And they party good. Biggie did a lot of concerts and a lot of shows. He was very, they worked the hell out of that Ready to Die album before it came out. I remember Suge and I used to go and support him. We went about 2 or 3 times. I can think of watching Biggie perform at the Platinum. If any of y'all remember was it the Palace? The Palace. We went and watched him at the Palace over there across from the Capitol building for many of y'all in LA. And they used to always perform there. And I think even a couple of times at the House of Blues, as I remember. So they were big on partying. Now, I know you asking about house parties and stuff like that. I don't remember of hearing about the mansion parties. That's something new, where you had those big mansion parties where you would have a bunch of people just come to the mansion and party. When people used to good parties there, you have stuff like the El Rey Theater or places like that. It was usually after the Soul Trains Awards and stuff like that is when you get your parties. Then you had the after parties. That's where you would usually go to. And usually, I'll be honest, that was at a hotel. That guys getting the house, this written out houses stuff. Only people that was really renting out houses was when you get somebody to rent out their house for a video shoot or something like that. Were the only thing. All of this Airbnb or Airbnb and stuff like that, this world that y'all living into, we didn't have that coming up. And so, and you definitely didn't have people coming to your house where you laid your head at. That was a major no-no. So, yeah, Diddy and them partied, apparently, but it would mainly be at clubs and stuff like that. And then you get a few girls or people to come back to the after party, as they were doing, as the interview, even when Biggie got killed, they were allegedly on their way to another producer's home that was in LA to go and party. I forget the particular producer it was. So everybody had parties. Now, I'll be up here be hypocritical and be a liar to say Y'all done seen the pictures with Suge and Tupac. Suge had a studio, an office that was pretty much built like a little mini suite at his hotel where him and Pac used to party all the time. And so while the engineer in there mixing or doing something, or the homies, they have them over there in the studio with, when I'm saying the homies, I'm talking about Pac homies like Big Sight or the Outlaws was in there rapping. Pac could be in the office with Suge, and they have some chicks, they'll, have them dropped off and they're partying there. I.e., where this picture came from, where, they were in there partying with these two young ladies, Suge and Pac. So they had parties like that. They would do stuff like that. People, and I always tell y'all about a situation with at Suge's house in Vegas. So a spot like that was like his playhouse. Y'all have to see that house. That was an entertainment home. Had 5 bedrooms, 1 story, big living room, big den, and a backyard, and a pool house with 2 rooms in the back pool house. Jacuzzi, pool. Everybody used to party there at the Vegas house. And that's when I told y'all stories when he used to fly chicks. He had our boy L.A. Reid, shout out, rest in peace, not L.A. Reid, L.A. Dre, producer that did a lot of stuff, worked with Too Short, and did songs with Michelet and all that. But anyway, he's no longer with us, good friend of mine. He's kind of a relative. He had married one of my mother's cousins, was married to her. But anyway, he used to go to Magic City, because he was out there in L.A. with, Atlanta with Too Short, and fly a bunch of chicks from Magic City. It was like 10 or 15 of them that flew out there, and a couple of girls from Houston and stuff like that. And they would fly and come to the house and, be kind of paid for whatever, got a trip, and they'd be out there. And so niggas had, I guess you would call those freak off parties back then. So, Death Row had them. But one thing Suge Knight ain't did, and I can tell you at his parties, there might have been some EPOs floating around there, but ain't nobody saw it, ain't nobody knew. The most that you might have shared with somebody was some Cristal and some weed or something like that. It wasn't nothing about no EPOs handed out on trays and trying to get that, because most of the chicks that were there were willing participants or knew what they were there for. And so there were freak off parties, done during our time at Death Row and stuff like that. But it wasn't no underage people. It definitely wasn't no man on man, because we was all stingy anyway, so we didn't want to have nobody watching them get down anyway. So everybody had their own little room or little spot that they would take them to. So we didn't have no shit like that going on. And did I say underage? I'll say it again if I didn't. Definitely wasn't no underage people there. Well, was Danny Boy there? I don't know. I don't remember if Danny Boy was at any of those parties. But other than that, yeah, that would be what was going on at those type of parties during the Death Row days. So, and I think that was more later when those type of parties that that we seeing online and stuff like that came about, John, to be honest.
Okay, Reggie, I've noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed the same, but when you look up pictures of Diddy's parties, one person that I seemingly see over and over is Mary J. Blige. And I know you were around her at one point. Do you think that she was just friends with Diddy like that? Or do you think she was one of those party goers?
I remember when Mary first got married, I was like glad that she had got married, because that guy that she had married, you could tell Mary was still in charge. But he seemed to have calmed her down. Y'all gotta remember, Mary was wild back then. She was drinking and maybe doing some other things back then that she shouldn't have been doing. If you believe any of the things that Danny Boy was saying about how, he flew him out a couple of times to New York, and how he was getting down with Mary back in the day. Everybody knew Danny Boy. Danny Boy, or Dr. Dre said in the song Murder Was the Case, that singing ass boy, Danny Boy, I think they even announced his age, was only 16 or 17 years old at that time, right? So if we believe anything that Danny Boy is saying, and we know that she knew that he was 16 or 17 years old at the time, then that show y'all that Mary was just out there wilding and out there having a ball. Now, the pictures with Cassie, with her walking, holding her hands and all that, girls do that. Young ladies do that when you're trying to stick together. Her and Puffy obviously had a great relationship because, he really helped her career with that 411 album. I mean, so she was going to always be loyal to Diddy for that particular album, in my mind. But yeah, Mary seemed to always been at the parties. I forget the time period when she got married, because that seemed to be when she had got cleaned up and got herself right. But the time she was around us, I done told you, I went with Pac to pick her up when she jumped out of the hotel room at the Peninsula Hotel. She out of the hotel window. It was on the ground level, and was running along the side of the Peninsula Hotel because her and KC and her and KC was in the room fighting then, and she called Pac to come and get her. Mary was wild. She got cleaned up, proud of what she's doing and how she appears to be now. But Mary did have a time period where she was out there wilding out and apparently loved to party, and mainly party with Diddy because that was her guy, They created some hits together, and they grew up in the business together, from the Uptown days and stuff like that. And so I'm sure that relationship remained cool. And this year, New York person, Puffy, New York. I remember when she used to come to the hotel when we were coming down visiting her, and that riding around New York in that little red 500 SL she had. Used to love the shit out of that little Benz. But I always liked Mary. I tell you, Mary was my favorite R&B female solo singer back then over Janet or any of them. I had to pick a concert to go to. It would have been Mary because I used to love the way she danced and stuff, and her music. But Mary went through a thing. She appeared to be doing very well now, and she played okay in Power, and in the show she was okay. But I love that 50 gave her a shot, and that's surprisingly, huh? Usually relationships work where if you fuck with somebody else that I don't fuck with, I wasn't going to give you. So shout out to for 50 for riding with Mary and putting her in that show, because knowing that how close her and Diddy was. That took a lot of guts or a lot of balls on 50 part to me to cast her for that show, because I think that's going to help her extend her life after music. But we all know she can go do a residency in Vegas or anywhere right now and still make some money, because females from age 40 to 55, shit, they still love Mary. That make them remember their days when they were back in the 20s and partying and out there giving their pussies free parties. Giving their pussy some parties and shit. So, and make them take your mama back to those days. So, shout out Mary J. Y'all ain't gonna get me telling the joke about her and Pac today. When she sat on his lap.
So, Reggie, I wanted to play this segment from you from Spider Loke's podcast on YouTube, where he had Gene Deal on, and I wanted to just play this little snippet for you and get your response.
You and Reggie Wright. I see you and him as like the opposite of the same thing. Both have history in law enforcement. Both were up close on the opposite side of this thing that they call the East Coast, West Coast. Y'all both got intimate knowledge of the situations. I know y'all don't see eye to eye about everything, but what do you feel as if I look at you, I'm like, damn, we as viewers have a East Coast Gene Deal and a West Coast Reggie Wright to kind of, if you pay attention to both stories, y'all kind of help us get an idea of some of the stuff that was going on that we wouldn't know. Do you feel like that's a good analysis?
Well, that's your analysis.
Right on.
You understand? And
I
that's
would like your
the thing.
feedback off of that. Yeah.
My feedback is that like I have nothing against Reg, but when I don't fuck with somebody I don't fuck with, I never lied on Reg. I never talked shit about Reg until Reg started that bullshit with me. You understand what I'm saying? I never lied on Reg, bro. When you start lying on a man, then you start trying to degrade his character and then get with those people that talk shit, knowing you know as a man that they wrong. If somebody said something about Reggie Wright to me and I know what they was wrong and they was talking shit, I would check them. Because you're not going to get that off on me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Reg will let people talk shit about me and say shit, and we supposed to be at an avenue where we getting to know each other. We at an avenue where we supposed to be trying to get to be cool with each other. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And he let them niggas get that shit off on me. That ain't his responsibility. But if you want to be cool with me, if you want to be a dude that I respect, you're going to respect the game and what it's supposed to be about.
Mm-hmm. I can dig that.
That's all it is, bro.
That makes sense.
I don't go backwards, bro. You know, when you don't fuck with, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me, you know, it's cool. You don't fuck with me. I have no problem with that.
I can definitely relate to that.
Oh man. Yeah, I saw that actually. I saw that. My boy Spider Loke sent it to me. Spider is a good dude. He always give me heads up, as I do when somebody says something, you know, about each other, or I say something about him, or he say something about me. So shout out Spider for saying that. I didn't like how you raised your hand when the nigga said that bullshit. Seemed like you was trying to cheerlead him on, but it's all good. I know sometimes we gotta play into the YouTube. Okay. Gene Deal, I don't know if y'all noticed. I've been I done took my foot off his neck a little bit. Because I kind of understand that, hey man, we just all out there telling our truths or telling what we believe in our stories and all of that. All I just didn't like is that he was inserting himself into Tupac stuff and, you know, in the Keefe D situation. Pretty much that's the only reason I really got on him. And then when I went to sit down for a minute, he started saying I was washing nigga clothes and shit. Well, I bet you I can bring 5 niggas on here to tell how Reggie Wright was living in that camp. Everybody was out. And they know. Shit, Reggie Wright used to get niggas to bring food to him. And anyway. So he was trying to make a little jokes about that. It's the only reason I got mad because I thought we was cool. And then once a nigga go to jail, go sit down, then he want to start making little jokes on his little live streams. And so that's when I just started tapping at Gene. Other than that, I got disappointed in Gene when we had a deal on the table with Chris Robinson, guy that was a director that wanted to do a documentary on Gene and I, but he went on and just said, fuck you two, y'all want too much money. Because Gene went up there talking about he want $50,000 and all of that. And shout out to my boy Sam Gabbo from, I forgot the name of his channel, Machiavelli Media now. But Gab and Sam, I think it used to be called, who had made, you know, hooked us up with Anthony and all of them. And they wanted to do something with us. But hey, that was his negotiation. He knew his value. I'm sure our value was at that, and he wanted it. But I was more of one of those dudes that give up a little something and get it in the back. That's just how I roll. And so I was disappointed when that deal went by the wayside. But even after that, he came on and did a live stream with us and all of that. Then, he kind of got mad during the live stream because I tapped at some of the people that were supporting him that I thought were clowns. And I'm sure he eventually found out were clowns. And then he go on and tell those people on his live stream that the only reason he came over there because he knew I was about to go sit down and he just wanted to throw us a softball like you doing me a favor. Reggie Wright don't need no favors from no motherfucking body. Because me and John both do this as hobbies. This is not our first income. John John crazy ass got 2 jobs. So John definitely do this as a hobby. And I just do this the past time because y'all know I'm retired, right? But, so we didn't need that. We just was trying to give people over here Bomb First, some content. All right. So that's when me and Gene started going down. Now, he has always expressed to me, and that's where he really pretty much took it, was that he was disappointed because of Greg Kading's and my relationship. And I always tell you, I roll with Greg Kading's because the way he came professionally. And step 2, to me, when he thought I had something to do with the murder of Biggie Small and how he came at me or my connections, and mainly once he found out the investigation, he was man enough to admit, hey, I don't believe you have anything to do with it. And the person that he found out that possibly did, he helped them out as well at my request. Always going to have respect for Greg Kading's regarding that. G was only upset because he felt that Greg played some games with some pictures or something like that. Come to find out, Greg wasn't even the cop that was involved with the pictures that he said he saw and that Greg and them never saw or something like that. And so he has always had a issue with my relationship with Greg Kading's, which he pretty much alluded to in that particular conversation. But the thing that we all know, when do we all know about Gene, y'all? Everybody, when do we know about Gene? When did Gene first come to the scene where everybody starts saying, oh, okay. Because I'm going to be honest, I listened to all Gene's interviews pretty much. He entertains the hell out of me and on his views and stuff. And some of it is, knowledgeable, teaching me some game where I learn stuff from him. But where we learn from Gene from, y'all? Okay. The Broomfield documentary, right? Which is funny, where he identified one, I'll leave that part alone. We learned from him from the Broomfield where he misidentified people, right? But guess what the documentary person that we all know him from, believe everything that he said from, what he says about his documentary now. What do Nick Broomfield says about his documentary now? For those that y'all don't know, John will post it right now and show you motherfuckers. Y'all see that? What do it say? I got it wrong. My documentaries got it wrong regarding Tupac and Biggie. So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But that's the only problems I have with Gene. Just like he said, other than that, hey, shout out Gene Deal. Keep doing what you and Art over there doing together. Because as I always said, even though I don't fuck with either one of y'all, right now, today, October the something, Halloween time or whatever, because I don't know when this is going to post, I still call y'all what y'all doing right now, Kobe and Shaq. And those are my 2 favorite basketball players as a duo. So.
Speaking of Gene Reggie, did you see where Biggie's mom apparently called him and thanked him for what he was doing as far as speaking out on Diddy for all these years?
Gene, Biggie Mama called him. I swear, y'all niggas need to stop reading titles of videos. Y'all really need to start reading what people put in the titles of videos and listen to what actually happened. That is not what happened. Gene was on the phone with a dude from Texas who had a relationship with Miss Wallace that called her, and he kept trying to interject into the conversation and got so frustrated. And then he finally got in, and then Miss Wallace, who apparently from the conversation, not apparently, she did know who Gene was. But she didn't reach out and call him. That was a dude from Texas. I believe his name is Paperwork. His channel is Paperwork or something like that. And he was on the phone with Miss Wallace. He the one that had the relationship with Miss Wallace. And then Gene got on the phone, and then she acknowledged him and go, "Oh, hi, Gene." And then Gene started talking because he knows this conversation is taped. Because obviously Miss Wallace didn't know that they were taping her. But I'll leave that subject alone. But then she goes and says, "Oh, hi, Gene," showing that she does know who Gene is. And then he goes into a spiel, "Oh, I would have stopped and did this and stopped doing all of this." And then she goes and say, "Oh, Gene, keep doing what you're doing." So the way people try to make it seem like, "Oh, Gene, I got to call Gene. Gene, thank you for doing what you did and what you've been doing and exposing Diddy and all of that." That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened, y'all. But hey, I'm not here to hate on Gene today. I'm not here to hate on Gene. But I just wanted y'all to catch how niggas can put anything in the title. Told y'all gonna make me become a Jaguar Wright or Gene Deal or one of those motherfuckers. Y'all gonna make me do it. I'm gonna do it. It's Christmas time. Me and John need some money. We got kids to take care of. Baby mamas and wives and shit with issues that need bills taken care of. Y'all gonna make us do it. Peace.
Okay. Did you see that a couple weeks ago, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Finch was arrested for trafficking and charges that were very similar to Diddy? I saw that he did have a court hearing and he was granted bail with a $10 million bond. Did you see this? And do you have any idea why he would have been able to get bail, but Diddy's not?
Yeah. Look, John. Okay. That wasn't funny? All right. Because y'all ain't never been in that situation. That's why. Well, the man is 80 years old, right? He's 80 years old. And y'all say, well, because there ain't no kids involved. Did he have kids involved? I ain't seen nothing in a complaint. I seen it on YouTube and some civil things where kids were involved. But I only seen one victim so far on Diddy, right? That guy had what, 5 victims or something like that? Or I know he had some other co-conspirators. Now, I know Diddy getting some superseding indictments coming down the line. And I agree that Diddy shouldn't be out on bail. But I don't know if y'all watched my video that I did about 10 days ago where I said I have a problem with America. I'm not talking about Diddy's situation. Just how I believe our court systems need to have a bail schedule. If this happened, this happened, this happened, this many victims, your bail is this amount. If you have this many, you have no bail. Whatever. It shouldn't be based on you being poor, or you being wealthy, or you have a home that you could lock down like a prison and all of that. It shouldn't be based on that. It should be this is what it is. Now, I know judges hate guidelines. Judges hate to be told what it should be or what it shouldn't be. I know a lot of y'all are going to say, well, those guys have never been in trouble before. Puffy technically, or Diddy technically hasn't been convicted. Now, we know he's been accused. He's been through the system before. But as I found, he was not guilty on those cases. The assault that he did with Cassidy, or Cassie, that's out of the time frame of being able to be filed. The statute of limitation is up on that particular case. I don't understand one thing about when the LA County DA and their office said the statute is up because of the assault and the domestic violence, though. The one thing I disagree about, I saw a kidnapped in there. Because for my laws, once you move a person from one room to another room without their consent, that's kidnapped. I don't know why they never try to add kidnapping to that case to get the statute to keep going. Don't know. But anyway, but that would be my only take, John. I hate to bring race into it and all of that. I think it's mainly because they were 80-year-old men. I forget if Bill Cosby, because of his age, if he was able to get bail, have bail. I think he did. I do remember seeing him walking in and out of the courtroom until he was found guilty. So that knocks out my theory about the race thing. It could be about the age thing. But it was a bad look. I know there's different districts. I think one's in Central and the other one in South. I forget where Puffy's at. Ain't that called South or something like that? Or Eastern Division or something like that? But I know they were.
Yeah, I think Puffy's in the Southern District
Yeah.
of New York, I think they call it. Yeah.
Okay. And that one is in the Central, right? The Central District? I believe it's Central. And so I know it's different judges, different areas, and stuff like that. But that's my point. That's my point. It don't look good, right? It makes people be like, well, why one? Why not the other? Or why he got it and why he didn't? Your kids. Don't y'all? Y'all gonna experience it. Christmas time for those of y'all that just have kids, or y'all experience it. Well, why you buy him a car? Why you only buy me a Laker jersey? We always compare. Everybody wants. I do it with my mom and daddy still to this day. You spend $500 on her and you only spend $200 on me. And that's human nature, y'all. So I get it, understand it, but is it right? Is it right? I don't know. Really don't know. Because one thing we got to remember, and we always got to remember, you're not guilty until you're found guilty by your peers or the court system. You're innocent until proven guilty in the United States of America. And we still got to abide by that and go by the rules, y'all, no matter what.
Did you see, Reggie? There's a bit of a debate where I guess Jamie Foxx is taping a Netflix comedy special, and he insinuated or joked or maybe hinted that Diddy was behind his medical issue a while back. Did you read about this, and do you have any thoughts?
Y'all funny. Y'all funny. I told y'all a week or two ago that Jamie went to the feds on Diddy, right? And then he gonna allegedly joke about it, right? He gonna allegedly joke about it. He don't listen to Bomb First. Y'all believe Jamie Foxx over here listening to what Reggie Wright and I heard even some people said that Cam Capone, some guy over there on his channel has said it as well. So y'all believe that? Okay, maybe if it was Vlad or even maybe my Arts channel or DJ Academics, somebody channel like that, he may listen to here and there or Joe Rogan or something like that, if somebody on their channel would have said something like that, then maybe Jamie would have heard it. Jamie wasn't joking. Jamie just realized what he said and wanted to backtrack that. But let's see. He said it's going to come out on the next Lick show. Let's see what comes out on it. But I don't believe Jamie was joking. I think he's trying to walk it back now. Because y'all got to remember, y'all got us living in this era of everybody scared to be a snitch. Everybody, man, people, just because you're a victim, that ain't snitching. Y'all got to get out of that. I don't snitch. We don't snitch. This non-snitch stuff. There are victims, and then people are victims, and if Jamie was victimized like that, and all I understand, Jamie don't want to pursue it. Jamie ain't got to pursue it. But what about Kim Porter family? What about her? What about LB Shore family? If somebody else got sick behind this shit, they're supposed to die like that. But my whole point is, investigate. If that nigga's out there got some type of cyanide out there that he's giving people to get sick when he want to off them, that's like a cover-up drug, and we got 4 people that's related to him, 3 or 4 people that's related to him, that's dying from this bullshit, and God forbid they found this in the raids, and they found this when they went and raided his house, some of this particular drug, then it needs to be fucking investigated. Y'all can call Reggie Wright a snitch or whatever y'all want. But if Kim Porter died from that same shit that's in Jamie Foxx blood system, LB Shore blood system, and there's one other person, I can't think of who the other person is, but it was in their systems, then it needs to be investigated. Fuck y'all, and fuck whoever got an opinion on that's snitching. You up here dry snitching, trying to got people, okay, Jamie don't got to go forward with it, but Kim Porter kids or father should be able to, or her family member should be able to have that investigated if it needs to be. But yeah, I think Jamie is just walking it back. He kind of slipped up. Some people are saying that he was serious. Some people were saying he was joking. But why would he joke about something like that when Reggie Wright had told y'all that he had information that he went to the feds regarding that? Don't y'all remember? Y'all don't remember that, huh? You look at the dates. My shit was said before that TMZ shit was reported, or even that taping of that particular show. Reggie Wright said it first. I have no relationship with Jamie or anything like that to know that, and for me and him to be saying the same thing jokingly for the internet. But John, I don't know who's reporting these people because it ain't Jamie, but I could have sworn I saw something. And y'all got to remember when we tape on Sundays, and this was Sunday morning, where Jamie pretty much said that he wasn't lying, he wasn't bullshitting. That is true. So, don't know. You get lawyers, you get agents, you get people in your ear and be trying to get you to walk stuff back. But people don't joke like that. They don't joke like that. And the timing of what I heard and what I reported to y'all, and the timing of that, come on, y'all. There's some smoke. Keep telling y'all, there was a fire somewhere before there was smoke.
So Reggie, seemingly months before Diddy was ever raided, you were very outspoken about his battle with, what you called his battle with homosexuality. Now that people, both underage and of age, males have come out against him, do you feel as though you feel vindicated, or was it more just like I told you so?
No. I mean, it's nothing. I hate to even seem like I'm right, because homosexuality, and I know it's bad to me, but homosexuality is not a crime, y'all. I only have problems with guys that are on DLs. When they out there perpetrating to their girlfriends or their wives and stuff like that, that they're, straight male or in a heterosexual relationship, but then they going out late at night sneaking off doing things, with a man because of the health situations that it comes. People, unfortunately, because of the way God made us, and no disrespect, but there's a certain illness that you get from male on male relationships, sexual relationships. And so that's the only problem Reggie Wright has with homosexuality. Just if you are, or you swing that way, or that's what floats your boat, then just admit it to people. And who cares? We live in a society now, who cares? We could go and say, and a person like me would go, well, that's God, destroying the world behind it and all of that. But that's between you and God. Reggie Wright cuss. That's a sin. So I got to deal with God regarding that. And so, we all going to have things to go and have that conversation with God about when we're trying to get in the doors of heaven. So that would be, I wouldn't call it vindication or all of that. That was my only issue with Diddy that I had, that he had men and people looking up to him, wanting to be like him and stuff like that, when he was hiding what he was doing behind closed doors. And so that would be my only take from that. But I know I come off as a gay basher or that, but that's not what I mean to be, y'all. It's really, when I'm talking head or talking crazy or talking crap, it's mainly about guys that are in relationships. Because to be honest, if you're not even in a relationship and you're not telling nobody how you swinging, that ain't a problem. It's just the men that are in relationships with women, jeopardizing their health and stuff like that, is the ones that I have a problem with, the only ones I speak to. My son had a teacher when he was young that was a flaming Wayman, right? I had a problem with it because I knew that he was a flaming. But the man that's standing up and teaching in front of mine, but it's when you out there showing me that, then you think it's acceptable. That's why they got doggone TV shows. All these got doggone TV shows where they pushing it on us. And all of that is when I have a problem with. Because it's like making it acceptable and showing like, no, if that's just how you want to do it and what you want to do in your bedroom, or your privacy of your home, who business is it of any of ours? But when I know this is what you're doing in your bedroom, and then I don't want those people to be around it, because then you be seeing it, then it get acceptable to the younger, precious minds. That's all I'm worried about. You adults, you 50, 40-year-old men that's saying all that stuff, then y'all know what y'all want and what y'all want to do. I'm just all about the impressions that we give to our kids. I'm one of those, but you talking to a guy that when I go to church, that really hates to see dressed down days. Every Sunday is dressed down days. It was okay when it was once a month and all that. I wanted everybody wearing suits. I still want everybody wearing suits and stuff like that to church. So that's just, I'm old and traditional. I know it don't happen anymore. I don't do it. But that's just how I'm set in my ways about tradition and stuff like that. That would be my only point.
Okay, so Reggie, I wanted to play this audio for you that somebody emailed to us that is supposedly Diddy on a phone call from jail, and I just wanted to play it for you and get your reaction.
Did Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob, he ghosting. You just motherfucker doing. These things sweet me out because I'm in here. It's all good. He about to get out on bail. Pop Justin said, what should he do about his whip, though? Man, the fuck is you talking about? You don't see the shit I'm dealing with right now? I know, Bob. I told his stupid ass. Hey, check this out. Tell his light-skinned ass to go make a club appearance or something. Motherfucker, make some money. You 30 years old and shit. Pay your own fucking car. Hey, yo, listen. Do not entertain none of this nonsense. and nothing over the phone. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. About all these lawsuits though, Pop. Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. But you're money hungry and shit. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh.
Yeah, right, John. Somebody emailed us. My nigga John don't want to admit that he was watching. He be trolling Diddy, looking on for Diddy content, y'all. But now, come on, y'all. Why, John, you better than that. You know that's AI all day. You know that's an AI conversation. One, we ain't hear no beeping, right? We ain't hear no beeping about you're in a federal institution or whatever, or this call has been monitored and all of that bullshit you hear. But two, every topic that we've been talking about on social media is in there. You know, about how my friends abandoned me, how the son got problems with the car. You know, he getting sued behind that Bentley. Show y'all money problems is coming over there in the Combs house. All those are subjects that people, and that's unfortunate about this AI shit, man. But yeah, that's an AI call. I'll bet 99.9%. And number two, who gonna release it? If it wasn't the institution, you think the son gonna do his daddy dirty like that and release it? No. So yeah, that was an AI call, and there's somebody, but it's good. I mean, the AI that's show you why this AI is so dangerous. While we speaking on the sun, on the sun, I heard an interview where someone alleged said that if they were so tough, they should take the case for their dad, you know, for their guns. Well, number one is obviously there's no prints on that gun, and so that's the only person that should be even thinking about taking a case if their fingerprints was on that those particular guns that was in the houses. But hey, all it makes Puffy not eligible to do is to go to a sex camp if they ask those in the feds. It ain't gonna get no more time than he already facing. So shit, no, Diddy. Don't listen to those stupid motherfuckers that don't know or one of Puffy's sons. Don't be listening to the people talking about you should stand up and take the case. No, you shouldn't. Only way you stand up and take the case if that was the only case that your daddy was gonna get convicted of. But your daddy is getting convicted of more cases. So what the fuck? 15 years is 15 years. If you got to do it, because they're going to run it all together, they ain't going to say 15 years for this, another 15 years for this, and then another 15 years. They ain't going to do it like that. They just add it all together. And then you go and make your deal and take your time. So all you YouTubers is up there talking about, yeah, if you're a stand-up guy, if their son want to be so tough, then he needs to be taking credit for the guns and get that off. You only do that like Reggie Wright did when he got in trouble. It's to save one of y'all from going to jail. Which I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Pops ain't did shit. It's all me. Which was the truth, but that's the only time you do shit like that. So don't be listening to motherfuckers that ain't never been in trouble before in their motherfucking life, giving y'all advice on YouTube. Y'all be like, oh yeah, King Cole want to be tough. He need to be taking a case and doing that. Man, tell those motherfuckers to shut up. Go in their comment section and tell them, shut up, nigga. You ain't never did nothing. You's a bubble-eyed, four-eyed geek. Nigga, shut up with that advice. Yeah, take the charge. If you want to be stand up. Yeah, whatever. Stupid motherfuckers and their advice. Man. But anyway, no, you don't take no case. Number one, you make them come with the prints and prove that their gun's in your case. And number two, if I gotta do 15 years for fucking, some molestation or whatever, and won't care if I do another 15-year sentence for a gun, for assault weapon or whatever, because it's all run the same. They don't stack them. All right. So when motherfuckers on YouTube talking that tough and what they would do that ain't never. Anyway, then y'all check on. Tired of niggas throwing opinions. They don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Hey Reggie, the Tupac interview that Angie Martinez came to his house and did in 1996, the one that she constantly hypes up. Do you think now it might actually see the light of day or no?
Well, I hope like hell the feds got it. Because it's gonna see the light of day the feds got it, right? Because y'all know they leaking everything. Everything get leaked, but to be honest, I just think all Tupac was doing in that particular interview was telling us what we've been knowing, or what we knowing now. That Puffy's gay, Puffy this, Puffy that. I don't even know if he went too much into the Jimmy Henchman conspiracy and all of that. Because I can't see why Puffy would really care to want to buy the tape and, for them to cover that tape as much as they have been, just because he talking about some stuff that he talked about in a song, right? He told us in Against All Odds what he felt about Jimmy Henchman and Stretch and all of them and Haitian Jack and all of them. So I don't think they would have went to that extent to cover that up. I think he really went into really bashing. Now we all, and even I think John and I had a conversation. Well, Tupac, he never really called Diddy gay back in the day. Well, I would defer or be different, or maybe because we always thought that he called him Cream or Puffy, or what he called him something when he had the guy dressing up like him, acting like Creep Off. So that's gay. So that's gay to me. He put him in a tutu, with a pink tutu on the back of this. So he was definitely going in that direction of calling Diddy gay. But any interviews out there where he actually called him gay, I think that's what they're covering up, John. And I think the only way that Angie Martinez that video is gonna get released if one, she dies, and her girlfriend or whoever she's with, because I know she gay. She looked gay as a mug to me lately. If that person, go and find it in her house and release it, or two, if the government gets it, because I really believe that she don't have it, even though, if y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because y'all know I'm not a researcher like y'all, and my memory is getting bad, but I could have sworn that's why we all said something happened to Jamie, because an interview that Jamie and Angie had where she said, hey, I will let you hear that interview privately. It was somebody, if it wasn't Jamie, she was doing an interview with, and she said, I have it. I'll let you listen to it, but but you can't share anything that was said in that interview. And so I believe that's where that conspiracy about Jamie comes up from that. So that's that. And the only reason I bring that up is to show that I know that she still has the interview. But it's unfortunate that it's so unfortunate that we never was able to get this particular interview. George Price is the one, in my mind, that dropped the ball on that, because she flew out here on Death Row dime, Death Row paid for her to come out here, hang out with Tupac to do that particular interview. So, to be honest, technically, if I was Suge Knight, I would sue her ass for it. For that particular, that might be where his $1 million bank is, because he technically paid for that particular interview. She admitted in interviews where he flew, she said Pac, but everybody know anything that Pac was doing at that particular time came from Death Row and Suge Knight. So I don't know. I ain't gonna get too deep on that, but let me find out. Let me find out that the government got that in the raids, because trust me, that's something Puffy would have kept close to him in one of those safes and stuff like that. I'll be reuniting with Suge Knight to make that lawsuit, and we're gonna be suing to get possession of that particular tape. That would be the only way that it would probably ever come out. If, like I said, Angie died and somebody close to her released it, or the government got it during no raids and it get leaked. Other than that, Angie seemed to be loyal to New York. Stand up, New York. And so she's not going to embarrass any of those dudes from out there. Well, she shouldn't. I agree with loyalty, and I don't blame her for it. But Angie, you know who really owns that tape? Now, thinking about it. That's Death Row property. Bankruptcy property. We need that tape, Angie. Shout out. As a matter of fact, I know y'all heard that your boy, her friend, a guy that she loved a lot, passed away. Biggie, good friend. DJ Clark Clint. So for those of y'all that support us over here in New York, that big fans of Clark Kent, our condolences to y'all. But y'all know I'm still mad at Clark Kent for making that statement about Tupac saying that Biggie died because of a lie from Tupac. I still don't agree with him about that. That was Tupac's opinion at the time. And Tupac died believing that. That Biggie knew that Diddy knew that something was going to happen to him at that studio. But other than that, shout out.